we are facing a challenge of or potential of being grey listed as a country. Now, grey listing results from an uncontrolled or a perceived uncontrolled prevalence of illicit financial flows. And illegal mining is one of those areas that can then have an impact on our reputation as a country. The other issue is that foreign investors, they have to think twice. If this persists, they have to think twice about investing because they are not sure whether their investments would then be secured. As was indicated, it's a multi-billion rand industry, and it impacts on tax collection as well.
Has Home Affairs, the department, announced any new measures in dealing with illegal mining? Because, of course, we know that there are a number of foreigners who come into the country illegally and then take part in this practice.
Sally, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, the Home Affairs Minister, was part of that portfolio committee meeting where he highlighted some initiatives that are being done by the Home Affairs Department. For one, he mentioned the Border Management Authority that's already roaming around the borders trying to curb those undocumented national foreigners coming into the country. Secondly, he also mentioned the joint efforts between the South African Police Service as well as Home Affairs, for example, in the recent arrests that we've been seeing in different operations that have led to hundreds of Zamazamas being arrested. But he says also, Sally, that they're having conversations with the neighboring countries where we do understand in the majority a lot of these Zamazamas come from countries like Lesotho or Zimbabwe as well as Mozambique. So he's saying that they're having those discussions to try and curb Zamazamas coming in. Let's take a listen to Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi.
On the 2nd of August, the DG of the Department of Home Affairs and the DG of Immigration Services met with the Permanent Secretary of Home Affairs of Lesotho to discuss this issue of illegality in illegal mining activities and areas of cooperation, including the issues of deportation. Botswana Immigration Border Technical Meeting was held from yesterday, even today is on. Mozambique Immigration Technical Meeting will take place in Maputo on the 2nd and 23rd of August 2022. Zimbabwe, South Africa, I'm sure you are aware, senior officials meeting on the midterm review of South African Zim Binational Commission on the 9th of May 2022. You are aware that yesterday it was a ministerial meeting, but the officials met before. The meeting discussed the issue of the ZEP termination, conveyances transporting illegal immigrants without documents, and illegal mining.
What was said by the mining companies? Because there's a role to play in some of the mining companies. What have they said today?
So the executive director of Harmony Gold was also there today, Sally, saying that, in fact, they as a company, they've done their bit in curbing illegal mining. They're saying that since 2014, it's gone down drastically in their operations. But what they're seeing is that they've now moved from the Free State, for example, coming into areas such as the West Rand and Gauteng. Hence, we're now seeing this influx coming in. They've also put fingers and blame towards the South African Police Service, Sally, saying that they operate in silos, they're private security companies, not hand in hand with the South African Police Service. Also saying that the SAPS should have a dedicated unit that looks at where the gold is actually being sold to, never mind the illegal mining that happens on the ground. And another issue, of course, is around these derelict mines themselves, where you find that it costs 41 billion rand annually when it comes to illegal mining and the operations that happen on the ground. They say that it will need that 41 billion rand to actually close up all of these 6,000 plus derelict mines.
6,000 plus derelict mines. Gosh, Aviwe, that sounds like a lot of work ahead. Let's bring in reporter Nqobile Madlala. Nqobile, you, of course, were in court again today, and as the NPA said, 7 more suspects appearing in connection with this gang rape that happened at a disused mine in Krugersdorp. What happened in court?
Well, Sally, we saw more people appearing. In the 7 people that were appearing, we know that some of them are already facing the charge of being in the country illegally, but also they're facing the charge of being somehow linked to that gang rape. But Sally, you'll remember yesterday there was that issue of a minor who was also supposed to appear today. We know now that the minor did appear, but of course there are still investigations that are still ongoing with regards to the assessing of the age. We know that they said that they were speaking to the hospital and that they were ensuring that the age is the right age and that they can assess and ensure that the minor is in fact a minor. But what was interesting now, Sally, is that even though the community has continued to attach illegal mining to illegal immigrants, we now have a self-proclaimed South African, which we understand from the NPA that they are still investigating. They are going to look into that, whether the person is in fact South African. But we have now heard that one is South African, and we do understand that they will be back again in court on the 28th of September. But let's listen in to NPA as they explain further in terms of what they got during this case.
Remember that yesterday we had one of the accused persons alleging that he was a minor. So the investigating officer was then tasked to conduct that investigation. Yesterday he took the minor to the place of safety, Walter Sisulu, and this morning he had to fetch him and take him to Leratong Hospital so that an age assessment can be conducted. So that has been done and concluded, and the feedback thereof is that indeed he is a minor, 16 years of age. All the 14 accused persons were part of the 82 that appeared last week in court. So now they have been separated from the 82 because remember that the remaining suspects are now facing only the charge of contravention of the Immigration Act. So most of those accused appeared yesterday, and their cases were postponed to dates ranging from the 15th of August until late August, and that was for some of them to plea, and while some of them pleaded guilty yesterday and their cases were postponed for SAP 69 so that previous convictions can be checked.
All right, so the NPA's Pindim John Ondwane confirming there that one of the 14 accused of rape is indeed a minor, 16 years old, they believe, and that another of the accused is claiming to be South African. You say this is going to be back in court when? Do we have any information about DNA results, whether they are back or whether this is purely arrests based on the ID parade, or are they keeping mum on that one?
Well, at this point, Sally, Pindi said that they can't exactly divulge all the information, but what she can say is that they're not done. This is why because media had been given a chance to go inside, of course, and record without showing the identities of the accused. But the states then decided that they are opposing that because they're saying that further investigations are still ongoing. And they're saying that they haven't concluded everything at this point. So there seems to be a lot that's still going on in the background. But Sally, you will also remember that there are still sting operations that are still happening on the ground. So more and more numbers we are hearing also that are still coming in. But now, for now, NPA just said that they cannot divulge, but we do know that in this instance, some of the evidence has come from the DNA processes that have already been done.
All right. And today, again, as yesterday, there were a lot of activists, a lot of political parties outside court protesting. Let's just take a listen to one of them.
We would like to see a lot of police visibility, and we would like to see, actually, we would like to see the police that have been in cahoots with the perpetrators. We would also like to see them arrested. We'd also like to see some responsibility taken in the Krugersdorp police station. Because remember, for us, this is not something that was done yesterday. It has been a long journey. We've been complaining that, and it has been echoed throughout the Mogale city. the incompetence of the police, the dissatisfaction where the police are concerned. So we'd also like to see action being taken by the minister and probably by the parliament as well. That is the minister summoned because of these of the echo of the dissatisfaction of people.
Yeah, and of course that's Nqobile Madlala, who was very vocal, confronted the police minister about the ongoing problems in West Village around issues of rape and violence. Thank you so much for giving us the latest on the 14 people arrested in connection with that gang rape, Nqobile Madlala, and thank you very much giving us some insight into what the politicians are saying about the ongoing problem of illegal mining. Senior reporter Aviwe Mtila.